TradingView versus Metatrader 4 or Metatrader 5 from MetaQuotes. If you're wondering what's the best charting platform for you, in this video I'm going to show you the most important differences between TradingView and MetaQuotes Metatrader 4 and Metatrader 5, MT4, MT5. So let's get started with that right now. Hi, I'm Scott Schubert with Trading Mastermind, and I show people what really works in trading so that they can master the business of trading and transform themselves so they can make a positive change in the world and fulfill their mission in life. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified instantly of all my latest videos. When it comes to charting platforms or trading platforms, consider that these are two separate things which may accomplish both of those. More and more people are questioning the mainstream norm and searching for the best option to use in their trading business. So when it comes to trading Forex especially, you will notice that the standard in the industry is MetaQuotes MT4, and a few people use MT5, which has a few additional benefits over MT4. But neither of these platforms have had any significant change whatsoever, as far as I can see, over the last 12 years. Nothing has ever changed in these platforms that I can see. Nevertheless, to their credit, MetaQuotes and MT4, MT5 are good, solid options for any trader who wants to have a good trading platform and a pretty decent charting platform as well. But the main benefit to using MT4 and MT5 is that it's free to use. You can open a demo account and use this charting platform. So I encourage all traders getting started to just stick with MT4 and MT5. For that reason is because it's free. And for many people, it just doesn't make sense to pay money for a subscription for one of these tools like a charting platform if you're a long way from ever getting consistent profit from your trading. So if you're just getting started or if you're learning to trade, just keep using MT4 and MT5 for as long as you like, because why go pay additional money for something when you don't even know if you're ever going to get to the point where you're going to master the business and learn to get consistent profit in trading. So if you're even considering switching to TradingView, just make sure that you're committed to the business of trading, or at least you can afford the small cost of the subscription fee. So in my opinion, the pricing structure of TradingView creates a kind of a feeling of scammy, cheesy kind of a feeling for a customer experience, because you have a free version which you can't really do anything with, and then you have a pro version which you can only put on 5 indicators. And then you have a Pro Plus, which you pretty much can do whatever you would need to do, and then a Premium that, in my opinion, I don't really need the features of the Premium, but I think it would be a more professional approach with a more positive customer experience to just have a free trial and one fully featured paid version that everyone pays the same for. Because how does that make customers feel if some people have more features and the perceived value is by restricting features rather than giving features, so restricting the number of features? How does that make customers feel? To me, it makes me feel like it's kind of scammy and cheesy. But other than that, I assume that the TradingView company itself is a good, solid company, and the product is a very good product. I just don't really think that the pricing structure really serves the customers and that it could be improved. So let's take a look at why you might want to use TradingView. Number one, it's a web-based application. You might wonder if that's a benefit. To me, this itself is an excellent benefit in and of itself. Now let's look at why. How often have you ever changed computers? Have you ever got a new computer? And then what did you have to do to get your trading platforms working on that computer? There's a little bit of work involved. And with Metatrader 4 and Metatrader 5, if you haven't saved and backed up remotely certain critical files, you won't be able to get your chart setups back. You have to start all over. So like if something happens to your computer and you can't get those files off of your computer, then, well, you have to just start all over, which is not the end of the world, but it takes a considerable amount of time. And as we all know, time is very valuable. What happens if I'm in Paris and my laptop is stolen? I need to get access to a computer. What if I have to, in an emergency situation, borrow or rent a computer, get a computer from a friend, or go to an internet cafe to log in and see if I need to exit a trade? Well, if I'm in some foreign country and suddenly I don't have access to my computer, well, I would have to install Metatrader on someone's computer, set it all up and everything, and make sure that I have the logins and everything. But because TradingView is a web-based application, if you open a computer anywhere, any kind of computer, on a mobile, a tablet, anything you can find, including iPhones, Apples, any kind of computer, if it has access to the internet, there are your charts. Everything is already set up. It's already saved. It's right in there. Same on your mobile that it is on your desktop or your laptop, including all of your personalized drawings and trend lines, annotations of every kind. They're there as soon as you open it up. And they're instantly there on any computer. If you've ever had your computer stop working for any reason, who hasn't, then you've probably been through this process before and you know what I'm talking about. Now, the main benefit of using MetaQuote's Metatrader 4 or Metatrader 5, MT4 or MT5 is that you can use them for free. And that's a very powerful benefit. The next biggest benefit of using TradingView is the availability of extensive sources of data. Included in the data are several complete Forex broker data feeds with all the currency pairs and everything you can think of. There are also indexes, US dollar index and stock market indexes, S&P 500, the Dow, and individual stocks. All the individual stocks, if you're checking those, even no matter which market you're trading, we've discovered that it helps to look at things like the S&P 500 to determine if there is a risk on or risk off sentiment. And we go through this process every day looking at different markets to determine what's going to happen even in the Forex market, or vice versa, whatever market you're trading. If you're not comparing different markets together that are driven by the same forces globally, it's likely that you might not be seeing what it is that you need to see in order to make good trading decisions. So there are also all the major global stock markets, Japanese 225, and the FTSE 100 and Australian 200. All the different major stock markets are available on TradingView, as well as futures and all the metals, commodities. You can look at US crude oil and UK Brent oil, gold mining stocks, cryptos. They're all there. The data is all there. And the purpose is to analyze chart. This is a charting platform. You can hook up some brokers so you can also trade there, but it's just totally not necessary. Now let me show you why that is a huge benefit, even if you're not trading all these different markets. So I can tell you right now that I would never trade any US dollar pair until I have looked at and analyzed the DXY US dollar index. And then at one point I discovered that it's critical to also, in addition to that, look at the Dow Jones US dollar index. This is an unweighted US dollar index, and there's a big difference between the DXY and the US dollar index that sometimes it becomes critical, and it's the very one thing that shows you what's about to happen at a big major news event. Now, as I demonstrated in another video, how to trade gold, which you can watch right up here, I also would never trade gold without looking at gold against every major currency. But TradingView is the only platform I found so far that has gold against every major currency. Depending on what broker you have, the brokers that I've been trading with don't have gold against every major currency, and I don't really need that to trade, because what's the purpose of this is to analyze, not to trade. And so before I trade gold, I'm going to look at gold against every major currency, and that is what enables me to see things that I would not be able to see otherwise. And there are many times, if I were only looking at gold against the US dollar, I would not be able to see what it is that I need to see that's going to tell me how I'm going to trade that day. Now, another nice feature of using TradingView is the community and the sharing features. So I recently discovered that you can save a chart and just share it with someone, and then that other person can open that chart in their TradingView, and it will have intact all of your trend lines and your drawings and your annotations and your labeling. Everything that you put on your chart is going to be there, same template, and everything will just open up and be available to the other person as a live streaming chart, not a picture of a chart. When you make a screen capture and you give it to someone, that's different than giving someone a live chart. And just like with MT4 in the beginning, there is a growing community of people who are developing indicators and systems and providing training and group activity based on TradingView. And I expect that that community is going to continue to grow, because the industry needs something like this, and it's providing a really good option for people who need this kind of excellent web-based charts with all of these features. Another good feature is the server-side alerts. This means that you can have custom alert criteria. It's not dependent on your computer even being on. It's generated on the server side and will give you an alert. Now, when I first set up my TradingView charts, there was something that I noticed right away, and that is that I can just instantly scroll through all of these different pairs and instruments and go to different time frames, and it's loading instantly no matter what I do. It's instantaneously. And I can also switch to another group of pairs. I call a list of pairs, a watch list. So I can have a watch list of Aussie pairs. Then I go to the first Aussie pair and boom, there it is. I go to the second one and there it is. I go to all these different ones and there they are. Now, if I go to Metatrader 4 or Metatrader 5 and do that, well, at the moment, there's not too much hesitation from going from different time frames, going to different pairs and different time frames. But when I load a new profile, because I have these organized as profiles, then there's quite a bit of hesitation. In fact, if I showed how much hesitation there is on this video, I think people would stop watching, because there's quite a bit of delay. I'll be sitting here for quite a while before this actually comes up and I can see all of these new group of pairs that I have in the new profile. Now, some of the multiple indicator templates that I'm using on Metatrader and moving from pair to pair, moving from different time frames, and then moving from different profiles of groups of pairs can cause quite a bit of delay And if you've been using Metatrader, you may have experienced what I have experienced is sometimes extreme delays while it's giving you this waiting for update. You see that a lot. Now this is loading pretty quickly at the moment, but you probably experienced this yourself and you know the limitation that I'm talking about. That in itself seems to be a lot faster on TradingView. And you would think, being a web-based application, that it would slow things down. That doesn't seem to be my experience. Now, another interesting little feature that I like about TradingView is that you can change the time that's displayed on your chart to just be your local time. It's not going to mess up your candles or change the data or anything so that it looks different. It's just going to make the time display as your local time. Now, have you ever been analyzing things and talking about things, and you go and you try to see, okay, what time did this happen? And then the next thing for me, if you're like me and you like to remain in the right brain, creative side of your brain function while trading, trying to do even simple mathematics in your head can kind of take you out of that. So if I go, oh, what time is that? What time zone is it displaying? Now, how do I convert that? I don't know. Can't do it in my head. I have to go to a time zone converter and put in each time and say, okay, that would be this time, and write that down. Okay, now let me see this other time. Now that would be this time. And all of this is just taking me out of the zone. So that's one thing that I kind of like about TradingView. Another thing that you might find to be a good enough benefit to convince you to switch to using TradingView is the extensive selection of tools. For a web-based application, there's quite an extensive amount of tools here. So I go to this trend line and I've got all these different things in here: trend, angle, horizontal line, horizontal ray, vertical line, cross line, arrow, ray, everything you would ever need. I go here and I got pitchfork, shift pitchfork, modified shift pitchfork, inside pitchfork, pitch fan. Got to Google that, see what that does. The Gann box, Gann square, fix, Gann fan, Fibonacci retracement, trend-based Fibonacci extension. Okay, have you ever seen any new feature or new tool on Metatrader 4 or Metatrader 5? As I mentioned before, when Metatrader 5 came out, there were some things that were improvements. Now let me show you one of those things. See this expansion tool? On Metatrader 4, it's fixed at 90 degrees. I can't go past 90 degrees if I want to measure wave 1 and project it from wave 4 to get a target for a wave 5. I can't do that unless I maybe just pick the whole thing up and move it over like that. Well, interestingly, they did improve that on Metatrader 5 maybe 10, 12 years ago. And then, so this one is not limited to 90 degrees. So I could measure wave 1 and take it up to wave 4 and give a target for the wave 5. That's not an issue. It's this very simple thing. But in all this time, Metatrader 4 is still the primary product that everyone is using. And none of these things ever got changed. It's still the same as it was 12 years ago. And that's also why you still have the same look and feel of the user interface of a 10-year-old software product. You'll find that the stuff in TradingView is amazing and up to date. Just look at all the ways that you can annotate on your charts here. You can put text. Anchored text is anchored to place on your charts instead of floating there. And then call outs, balloons, price label, arrows, all these things are available on here. Brush, path. You know, you can make an ellipse and a polyline where you can draw lines and curves and arcs and things. And maybe you might want to do that sometime. Do you think that they'll ever add that to Metatrader? Another 10, 50 years or so? Nah. They'll be out of business, I would think. All these Gartley patterns, cipher patterns, ABCD patterns, harmonic patterns, and so forth. Head and shoulders, Elliott impulse wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 labeled. Well, they got that on Metatrader, but do they have Elliott triangle waves, A, B, C, D, E? No, you can't do that in Metatrader. Elliott triple combo wave. Well, if the market makes them, but you can't label them. Elliott corrective wave. Yeah, you can do that on Metatrader. And then Elliott double combo wave, WXY. We don't have that in Metatrader. You know, you might want to put a lightning bolt on your charts, or a dollar sign, or a hand arrow. These things are, or a heart. And I could change the color of that heart to red, and then I could express my love for a certain currency pair. There's a lot of stuff in there, and it's pretty cool. And it's all web-based, instantly available on any computer once you sign up. Another thing to consider as a professional trader is that you'll find that brokers come and go. And isn't it a lot better to use your own professional charting software that you're always going to use no matter what broker you're trading with? And I've noticed that since Metatrader came out, all these traders got the idea that they have to use whatever their broker has. And it's so weird how this was kind of conditioned into the minds of people. Before that, all the professional traders were using Esignal or Metastock, not related to MetaQuotes. If you're not familiar with that, look it up and you'll see that's one of the charting applications that professional traders were using before Metatrader ever came into existence. And Esignal's not a broker platform. You can't trade on there. And why would you need to? It's the purpose of it is to look at charts to decide if you want to enter or exit a trade. And then when you want to enter or exit, your trading platform will be open. You click on buy or sell. So many people mentioned, the fact that you could use Metatrader 5 demo account to get access to the extra time frames and the extra features that you might need in order to see what it is you need to see. And people will say, my broker doesn't have Metatrader 5. And then I would try to explain to them, well, what you do is you get a demo account, and then the way that you do this is to open it and to look at it. Have you ever tried that? Because, you could open Esignal and look at it, and then you could go place a trade on your trading platform. Why is it that seems to be so hard for people to understand? Well, you can hook up some brokers to TradingView. That's not something that really interests me because I'm used to looking at charts and placing trades be two separate activities. Okay, so these are just a few of the benefits of using TradingView as opposed to using Metatrader 4 and Metatrader 5. And you might understand that a lot of us have been looking for something to use that would just take the place of the charting platform of Metatrader 4 and Metatrader 5. So you don't have to rely on that because Metatrader 4, MetaQuotes, isn't really a software company by my definition, because a software company comes out with new products every year and adds new features to their existing products every year. And if they haven't come out with a new product in 10 or 12 years, and they haven't really changed any features in 10 or 12 years, in my mind, they don't really exist as a software company. And in my mind, they don't really deserve to have that monopoly that they tend to have on trading platforms. And things were different before they came along, and I think was better. So I hope this little insight has been a benefit to you. And just let me know, are there some other benefits about TradingView that I forgot to mention? And also let me know if there are other benefits of Metatrader 4 and Metatrader 5 that would give you more reason to keep using those, or any other charting platform you may be using, such as Esignal, Motivewave, Ninjatrader, or any other platform that you have come across, because we're very interested to find out what people are using, why they're using it, how your experience is so far. Now, if you would like to find out what really works in trading, any market, just go to TradingMastermind.com and sign up for our free professional trading course, which will get you started and provide to you some critical information on what really works in trading financial markets. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.